This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the end of the school year brings tears for some at one Dunedin school as a much-loved principal is farewelled. A Cromwell vineyard is seeking changes to zoning as it considers developing activities on its property. And next year's emerging designers are being considered as the judges gather for a secret powwow. Good evening, I'm Rebecca Dupree. It's the last day of term and for the year for most schools around the south today. For one of the newer ones in South Dunedin, there were tears and tributes as one of its top brass discussed his plans to leave.
A fierce haka to honour a fierce guardian of Bathgate Park School. This year's final assembly at the South Dunedin School featured performances and speeches, both from those who are leaving and in tribute to the departing students and staff. Principal Whetū Cormack has been elected as President of the New Zealand Principals Federation and departs for Wellington shortly. However, he says today was all about the school's pupils.
What a great celebration we had today, acknowledging those students who are moving on to high school and some of our staff who are leaving us as well. A great celebration of achievement, of children's behaviour, their attitude at school, and we look forward to 2017 and what the new learning environment will be for our students.
Addressing the school, parents and members of the wider community, he acknowledged the contribution of two staff members who are leaving the school. The first of whom was Pete Eaton, who took the opportunity to praise his class.
I suppose I want to talk specifically to Tawapaki, who have been my closest family this year. It's very, very hard to say goodbye to you guys, both you year 8s that are leaving and also the year 5s, 6s and 7s that are staying on. So I constantly tell you guys that I care about you and I would not leave you if I didn't think you're being well taken care of.
Another of the Bathgate Park teaching whānau leaving this year is Annabelle Fielding, who led the school's special needs unit, which educated children facing a wide range of challenges to learning. Whetū Cormack is still the principal of the school, but while he's on leave, the daily running of Bathgate Park will be in the hands of Katrina Robinson. Cormack has his first top-level meeting tomorrow, where he says he'll represent the interests of the school and more.
So I'm looking forward to meeting with our Minister of Education, Hekia Parata. She's invited me to be part of their advisory group to work with her on the funding review for all schools into the future.
He says leading the New Zealand Principals Federation is a huge responsibility, and one he's not taking lightly. The school is known as a school of technology and the arts, so it was fitting that so many of the school's dancers and musicians performed during today's final assembly, which ended with the whole school, well, those who knew the words, singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
A woman was seriously hurt after her car rolled off Highcliffe Road in Dunedin this morning. Emergency services, including 2 fire appliances, were called to the scene at about 8:15 a.m. The car went through a wire fence and rolled 50 metres down a 45-degree slope. Ropes and a basket were used to rescue the driver. No other vehicles were involved in the crash and the driver was taken to Dunedin Hospital. More changes could be in store for Cromwell's front entrance. The town has just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars redeveloping the area around its big fruit. Now the owners of the vineyard opposite want approval for new tourism ventures to be developed on their land.
The front entrance to Cromwell is dominated by the big fruit sculpture, but the outlook to the north towards Lake Dunstan is all about the Wooing Tree Vineyard.
Hi, I'm Mark Price in Cromwell, underneath a tree known to be a suitable location for wedding proposals. Now the tree's owners have a proposal of their own.
The two couples who own the vineyard have applied to the Central Otago District Council for a zone change, so they can sell some parts for residential use, but use 10% for commercial development, preferably tourism related.
I mean, it might not be us that does this, but we're talking about like accommodation, art galleries, cafes, those kind of things. We're quite clear we don't want to create another mall or another part of town. But we think, you know, the way the town's growing and the tourism side of things, Cromwell, I mean, we know from our cellar door how busy we're getting, much more busy we're getting all the time. I mean, Cromwell's a really nicely placed, just outside of Queenstown and Wanaka.
Mr Farquharson is one of the 4 owners who bought the rough 26-hectare piece of ground between the town and the lake in 2002. Although the wooing tree itself would remain if the land was developed, some grapevines would go.
Yeah, I mean, eventually we probably will have to get rid of some vines. I mean, at the moment we've got some spare land over there, and we'll start to probably dig into some of our vines. But there's always going to be a vineyard here.
Mr Farquharson said he and his partners will be applying for a plan change early next year. I'm Mark Price for the South Today.
The Southern Institute of Technology has instructed its lawyers to take defamation proceedings against an Invercargill fashion designer. Linda Lepo picketed outside the SIT graduation last Friday, claiming the tertiary education provider owes her up to $200,000. Chief Executive Penny Simmons told the South Today in a statement the organisation does not owe Ms Lepo any money. She would not comment further. Lepo says she had a contract to provide uniforms to SIT and employ fashion students as interns in her factory to teach them about the business and industry. However, the relationship had gone sour. The selection process for next year's Emerging Designers competition has progressed, with more than 140 entries being received. The award's 3 judges are huddled in a secret location, cutting the list of entrants down, aiming for the final countdown.
Going from this to this. A trio of fashion leaders are casting their eyes over the work of people who want to be part of the Emerging Designers show at ID Dunedin Fashion Week next year.
It's going really well. We already had done quite a lot of preliminary research in terms of reading a lot of their bios and what they had to say prior to coming down today, because there was 144 is a lot to get through in one day. So we have already done quite a lot of background reading.
Chief Judge, designer to politicians and more, Tanya Carlson, says her, Sarah Munro and Dan Ahua are whittling down the number of entries. And although it's a familiar mantra, Carlson says the standard of entries is still improving.
It just gets better and better every year, and you know, I kind of feel like that's what I say every year. But technology is advancing, so things change all the time, and so it's creative, it's new, it's inspiring. We see all sorts of different new, exciting materials being used, and it's just a very interesting process to go through.
Tanya Carlson is among New Zealand's most known designers, and she outlines what her and the judging team are looking for.
The best of design. You know, these people have been at school for 3, 4, 5 years, some of them. So we're looking for extreme fashion in some ways, people that are taking chances and risks, and that you're not normally going to see in a commercial world. So this is their time to be really extraordinary.
Around 144 entries from 46 schools in 18 countries have entered the competition this season, which the Emerging Designers Publicity Department says is very good diversity. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, New Zealand's answer to Bear Grylls returns to the mainland, and we take a look at the link between a long-serving hardware store employee and Dave Dobbin.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
Emu oil has been used for centuries to support joint mobility and tired muscles. Also helpful for supporting healthy skin. Available as oil or in capsules. Go to www.silverhorn.co.nz to order emu oil today.
Tuesday nights are better than ever on Channel 39. At 7:30, we look at Australasian artists who have put some colour into your life. At 8 o'clock, we trek across the UK with the all-new award-winning Walks Around Britain, exploring some stunning British countryside. And the Craft Beer Crusaders explore the mysterious art of brewing.
got the rallies coming to stay these holidays, but the lawn's looking a mess. Call the team at Ready Lawn, open right through Christmas and New Year.
Southern Television takes pride in providing a wide range of programming. If you have concerns about our programming or feel that standards have been breached, please write to the address on screen within 20 working days of airing. Visit Broadcast Standards Authority website for more information on the complaints process.
Yes, Sonny Chin!
Neck, shoulder, back, sciatica, pain specialists. Innovative tools specifically designed to contour your grooves of depletion and excess muscle buildup.
Sonny Chin, it works. When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Put your seatbelts on for this one and rev it up. Thursday night is Motorsport Night. Proudly brought to you by multi-award winning Garrador.
Welcome back. New Zealand's answer to Bear Grylls is back from his latest adventure. Brando Jelovich, also known as Wild Boy, has finished his journey around Stewart Island, and our Invercargill reporter caught up with him when he arrived back on the mainland.
One of the most rugged coastlines in the country. But Rakiura proved to be not quite as much fun as Brando Jelovich thought it would be when he tried to tackle it in November. Hi, I'm Ruby Spink in Invercargill, where I interviewed Wild Boy about his adventures around Stewart Island. Best known for being the first person to circumnavigate New Zealand's North and South Island on foot, Brando says he knew he wanted to complete the picture by taking on our third biggest island.
Stewart Island's a very special place. It's kind of, well, it is the most wild island in New Zealand in terms of the three mains, and I went down there to have a freaking awesome adventure, really.
His plan was to walk the entire coastline starting in Oban, but he says within 2 weeks of starting the journey he wasn't enjoying himself. The weather was terrible and the scrub made it a nightmare to walk the coastline, so he changed his plan. He decided to adventure around different parts of the island rather than sticking to the coast.
It was probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in terms of, for the first day I felt like I'd failed, but then the day after that I realised the only person I was failing was myself when I wasn't having fun. And now looking back on it, I'm so glad that I made that decision and I changed the adventure.
And he says it worked. Jelovich wants to encourage everyone to get out in nature. He says it's as important for mental health as drinking water is for your body.
Wildlife, it's amazing how much nature can affect your emotional state, and I believe everyone needs to implement it into their lives.
Now that he's back home in Auckland, he says he's just winding down from the 2-month adventure and isn't actively looking for the next one. I'm Ruby Spink for The South Today.
A long-serving Ashburton Mitre 10 mega employee was given a surprise in store last week as he celebrated 50 years with the company. Kiwi music icon Dave Dobbin was in Ashburton to perform at Christmas in the Park, and he paid a surprise visit to Brian Glassy. Glassy marked the day by wearing his original brown and beige work uniform dating back to the 1970s. The pair enjoyed a short conversation discussing changes in retail over the years. Dobbin told Glassy he was held in high regard by his fellow workmates and had achieved an impressive milestone. Well done. After the break on The South Today, Santa choppers into a school in Oamaru, as you do, and we'll take a look at the stories making headlines in June.
Emu oil has been used for centuries to support joint mobility and tired muscles. Also helpful for supporting healthy skin. Available as oil or in capsules. Go to www.silverhorn.co.nz to order emu oil today.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
School Rally's coming to stay these holidays, but the lawn's looking a mess. Call the team at Ready Lawn, open right through Christmas and New Year.
We've got far too many shirts at Alex Campbell Menswear, and we like to bring you the best deal possible, buy one, get one free. How good's that? What about the popular Tara Cash brand, for example? Buy one, get one free. And our business shirts. Look, buy one, get one free. Race in now, because this deal finishes on Saturday. Buy one, get one free on shirts.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Buy one, get one free. Free!
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
Tuesday nights are better than ever on Channel 39. At 7:30, we look at Australasian artists who have put some colour into your life. At 8 o'clock, we trek across the UK with the all-new award-winning Walks Around Britain, exploring some stunning British countryside. And the Craft Beer Crusaders explore the mysterious art of brewing.
Put your seatbelts on for this one and rev it up. Thursday night is Motorsport Night. Proudly brought to you by multi-award-winning Garador.
Welcome back. The news is good for enrolments at Dunedin High School. Otago Boys is forecasting an 84% increase in Year 9 enrolments for 2017. The school is expecting 185 Year 9 pupils to attend next year, which is the school's biggest Year 9 roll since 2010. That'll take the overall roll to about 740. Rector Richard Hall says the increase can be attributed to improvements the school has made in two key areas.
One is the value we place on the junior boys and their education. This year we're aiming to have our classes capped at 23, and for a state boys school that's a massive effort, and certainly does give boys the best possible start to their education here at our school. And I think the continual drive for improvement in academic and in the opportunities that we offer our boys has been recognised by the community.
During the past decade, the roll peaked in 2011 with 930 pupils, but dropped last year to 719. The children of Western School in Oamaru were treated to a surprise visitor this week. A big jolly man in a red suit was delivered by helicopter to the school grounds, and there was a wave of excitement amongst the children. It was, of course, Santa Claus, and he had a special message for everyone.
I've come all the way from the North Pole. I've had to get a ride on a helicopter because my reindeer, they're sleeping and they're eating. They're sleeping and they're eating. They've got a big journey to do on Christmas Eve to deliver all your presents. So make sure you get to sleep quickly, okay? I think these kids here at Western School are absolutely fantastic. Look at them all. They're just beautiful kids. They're great kids. They're well behaved, and I love them all. Have a good Christmas, everybody, and we'll see you. I will see you on Christmas Eve, but you won't see me.
And the North Pole obviously agrees with him because he's looking younger. He proceeded to hand out some sweet icy treats before he was on his way again back to the North Pole to get ready for Christmas Eve. It's now time to continue our look back at the stories making headlines over 2016. Geese, they were a problem at Port Chalmers, and work began on a vehicle and cycle thoroughfare in South Dunedin. St Patrick's Basilica reopened its doors, and thousands took the plunge in icy water for an annual event.
Work got underway on Portobello Road, establishing a joint vehicle and cycle route. It cost $620,000 for the remedial work.
There's tremendous benefits for the recreational user, for the commuter, for tourism, to have these routes throughout Dunedin, safe and effective routes and efficient routes from getting one side of the city to the other.
The government announced funding of $15 million to go towards the restoration of Dunedin's historic courthouse. A year on from the South Dunedin floods, recovery appeared to be slow for some, and many were still dealing with the aftermath.
The progress
here, well, it was really horrible.
Well, I work in South Dunedin, but I haven't heard of any progress, to be honest. So still waiting to hear from the council if they're going to be doing anything about it.
I don't see any progress. It just carries on like it. I don't think Dave Cole cares.
Highland dancers put their best foot forward, hoping to tap their way to victory at an Otago competition. A new beginning was celebrated at the opening of St Patrick's Basilica after a lengthy redevelopment.
Today marks the end of our project of developing St Patrick's, not only the Basilica but the site here in South Dunedin. And we had it opened by Bishop Colin Campbell, the Bishop of the Diocese.
The future of a gaggle of geese fouling Watson Park in Port Chalmers was up in the air. After being unsuccessfully relocated, they were given an ultimatum by the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry. The All Blacks touched down for a test match against Wales, the third game in the series. And after a chilly countdown, hundreds of people braved the freezing temperatures at St Clair Beach to take part in the annual polar plunge. And finally, the central city was lit up with creative lights and lanterns. Thousands of revellers joined a crowd of performers walking around the Octagon to celebrate the middle of winter. Dee Karen, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. The last day at Bathgate Park School was an emotional one for some of the staff, as well as Principal Fetu Cormick, who's off to head the Principals Federation. Owners of a Cromwell vineyard are calling for changes to a council zoning plan so they can use part of their property for commercial development. And the judges of the Emerging Designers Fashion Competition spent a day in a small room looking through the portfolios of more than 140 hopefuls. And it's time now to find out what's going to be inside the pages of Thursday's Otago Daily Times, and editor Barry Stewart joins us. Good evening.
Hello, Rebecca. Foodstuffs has abandoned plans for a Raywood Fresh supermarket in South Dunedin. That proposal was put up some time ago. We got back to them today and they said, no, we're not going there. So Queenstown Lakes District Council has called in the Department of Internal Affairs over potential inconsistencies in two electoral expense returns. So more on that story in the paper tomorrow. Religious instruction in a North Otago primary school will be reviewed in the new year after parents complained. Quite a debate up there at the moment. Cycle Group Spokes is angry over Peninsula Cycleway changes, a U-turn in their design decision there. So that's upset that group, so you can read more about that in the paper. Departing Aurora Energy board member says the stadium drained vital pole maintenance dollars, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of sport happening at the moment. Otago Volts are playing Northern Districts at the I was going to say the stadium, but it's not there, it's at the University Oval. And All Black coach Steve Hansen concedes that Cruden, Dag and possibly Ben Smith could be lost to the All Blacks. They may go overseas, the lure of the dollar. Talking of the dollar, the New Zealand rugby players have got a pay rise.
Oh,
isn't
are
that
they
good?
lucky? That's
so
good. Well deserved, yes.
Yeah, a new collective agreement has been agreed. So they're in line for some reward.
Excellent. Details in tomorrow's ODT. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
And it's time now for tomorrow's weather.
This weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn's Manuka Honey.
Here is today's southern view. It's taken of the Invercargill Water Tower. I'm told it's a fairly humid day in Southland today. To the situation, we can expect a period of cooler, showery southwest air for a few days before another front joins us at the weekend. It's going to bring milder northwesterly air to us. So, to some of the towns in the southern reaches, strong westerlies with showers for Balclutha, the Catlins, Gore and Lumsden, highs of around 14 or 15 degrees. Strong westerlies with the risk of showers for Alexandra and Wanaka tomorrow, both on 17. Strong westerlies, just a few showers for Queenstown and Te Anau. And to the towns in the northern reaches, nor'westers with some high cloud for Oamaru and Timaru, strong westerlies for Omarama, the risk of showers there with a high of 17, and just a few showers for Twizel with strong westerlies and 16 degrees. In Dunedin tonight, we can expect some showers after what has been a beautiful day. Cold gusty sou'westers as well, with a low of 10. Tomorrow cloudy with frequent showers and strong westerlies, going for 16 degrees. And on Friday, sunny periods and strong sou'westers, so it's a half and half, a high of 15. In Invercargill tonight, showers and they'll be heavy with westerly winds and 10 degrees the low. Tomorrow and Friday, cloudy with frequent showers, strong gusty west to sou'west winds, 14 degrees for Thursday and 13 for Friday. And that's all from the team here at the South today for Wednesday. We'll join you again tomorrow. Good night.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.